Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be doing our balancing out all of our checking accounts today for the month of June. I am currently in my June budget spread. This is in my Erin Condren monthly planner. This is the planner that I usually always use. It is in the color blends design. We already have multiple spreads set up together, and we did set these up together in different videos, but today we're going to be doing the pre-balance. If you guys know, we are cashless budgeters. Everything is electronic and it's just been that way for like the longest time. It's just what works for us. We use credit cards mainly for everything, and I know that over the last couple of years I've received like a couple of questions here and there about how we set everything up and how we got started, and kind of like a beginner's guide of how we did our electronic budgeting. And for the month of July, I will finally get around to doing that, and I do apologize for the delay for some of you guys who have been waiting, but that is going to be for July. But for this month, I am doing a hybrid system where it is cash for my cash envelopes. This is the only cash that I'm currently using, and then the rest of my categories for my sinking funds, for bills, savings, those are all still electronic. I wanted to do a hybrid with you guys to show you guys how I would use this system if we did incorporate cash. So now that was a very long intro, let's go ahead and just get right into doing our pre-balance. So I have this spread here, and I will have a couple of videos linked below explaining how I set this up, how these all kind of incorporate with each other, and how I did set up our checking and savings accounts. We're going to be using this to balance out the accounts and prepare for June. So currently, let me just double check in our short-term savings if this is still the accurate amount, because I think we did get another paycheck. So we did end up getting our second paycheck for the month of June. So for the month of June, we do have 5 different paychecks. So every paycheck that we receive, both me and my husband transfer $1,300 over into this account. So this is now $1,300 more than this number. And we do have to make transfers because we have to pay bills soon. So this number is no longer accurate currently. Right now, the number in here is, let me see, $8,510.15. So that is how much is in that savings account currently. And then now let's balance out our second checking account. We're going to do what we did last month to kind of really show what it looks like after we balance out the accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my sheets from my July Design 2 monthly, our budget kit. We have the weekly check-in that we'll use week to week with you guys, and then I also have the weekly balance. The weekly balance sheet, this is what I use to balance out our checking accounts, and we're going to use this to set it up and balance out the checking account together. So we are all ready to go for week 1's check-in. Okay, my pupper keeps dropping his bone all over the place, so I think he has it now, but he dropped it like 5 times just now. Like, oh my god. Okay, so weekly balance, that's the script. We're going to do 4 weeks like we normally do. I do have 5 weeks on these kits, but I personally don't do 5 weeks. I used to do 5 weeks, but I found that 4 weeks just fits better, especially with the spacing that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. We use 5 different lines. Okay. Or we need 5 different lines. We use 5 lines for the weekly check-in, but for this one, it's usually just 3 categories. Though for this month, it'll be 2 categories, but I'll explain that more in a second. All right. We have week 4. And then we're gonna do that last in washi at the bottom to kind of just seal this off and make it look all cute. I absolutely love using stickers in my budgets. I used to do electronic with like an Excel sheet. I used to just like do the bare minimum. I used to just use like a notepad and paper, but what keeps me the most motivated and actually want to budget is definitely with stickers, making it so pretty and cute every single month. It's just so much fun. So we have week 3 and then our last little page flag, and then of course that week 5 I don't use, so that we're going to put aside. All right, so this is the weekly balance. I'm gonna do the lines real quick and I'll be right back. All right, so I have the lines down. Baby is taking a bath and the bathroom is right behind this wall, so you guys might hear all the commotion going on. So let's look at our accounts real quick. So we have 2 checking accounts. One of them is to feed our credit card payments and any outgoing money. I'm not going to explain too much, just in case there's those of you who already know the whole setup. I will have the videos linked below that really goes through these and thoroughly for you guys. In our second checking account, it usually houses the 3 categories for our monthly budget categories or our daily budgets. And that first section, the monthly budget, it is for eating out, groceries, gas, allowance, pups, and bean. It's this section right here, which for the past few months have been equaling to $1,000. Next, it always holds the money for our bills, which is this section down here, which equals to $3,150 every month that we need for all of our variable and our fixed bills. Last but not least, this checking account also holds the money for our sinking funds as well. And our sinking funds broken down is all of these subcategories. So let me show you guys an example of last month real quick, what it usually would look like, because this month is going to look slightly different. So normally the weekly balance, to start with, that first category, the monthly budget, is $1,000, which is this section right here of all of our cash envelopes or day-to-day expenses or electronic cash envelopes, whatever you want to name these, is what we use every single day essentially. And then we have the second category, which is for bills, the $3,150, and that's for all of the variable and fixed bills. Last month, it equaled to $3,150 as well, that we needed an approximation for the month. Then last but not least, we have sinking funds. So sinking funds, the $4,524, that was the starting amount for sinking funds plus the $950 that we added to sinking funds, and that was how much this equal to. And all 3 of these accounts added together, our checking account started with $8,674. And of course, as the month went on, you guys see it depleted quite a lot. So all that's left in there was like the remaining money from sinking funds. But I just want to show you guys what it normally looks like. But for this month, it's going to look slightly different since we are using cash. But because of that, we will not have that first category in here, which is like the day-to-day expenses, monthly budget, which is these categories, because these for this month of June, I'm going to be implementing using cash. I have the physical cash. It's not in the checking account. It's the physical cash that I have right here in my little budget binder. So that's why it's not going to be in this checking account. We won't have it for this month. I'm thinking that we changed the name to daily. I'm gonna slowly have to start changing the names everywhere to daily, and that's just these categories, the daily categories: eating out, groceries, gas, allowance, pups, and bean. And as you guys see, they're cash envelopes now. So we have eating out, groceries, gas, allowance, and then the pups and the bean. Since we are not going to be having those, I think I'm just going to put like cash. So we see it. I don't know if I'm going to write this every single week, but at least you guys get the drift of it. But then the other categories that we still have in this second checking account is bills and sinking funds, because those I do not have with me in cash. Those remain still electronic in this second checking account because most of our bills are paid automatically in our checking accounts. I don't really see a purpose of me taking the money out to put it back in, especially because I really don't like going to the bank. But yeah, so the $3,150 is still in this second checking account to pay for our bills. So let's put that down here. So we have bills, and the starting amount is $3,150. and that is what we estimated with our variable estimated number and then our fixed bills estimated number. These two added together for fixed and variable bills is $3,150. Then the next category that we still have is for our sinking funds. Sinking funds is another thing that I still mainly use for credit card, for like car insurance, sewer, water, medical. A lot of things we still use our credit card for. Sorry, I just had to give my baby some kisses. She's all clean now. But what was I saying? I don't remember where exactly I left off, but yeah, so for sinking funds, I still keep these in my checking account because this is a lot of money. For example, I just don't feel comfortable personally holding this money, and I like for it to just be in a checking account. So for this one, we'll still have in this account as well. So we have to budget that out. So starting amount that we have in here is $3,090, and then we added $950 for the month, since that was in our budget, to add $950 to sinking funds. And sinking funds is kind of like separated into multiple different subcategories. That number plus the $950 equals $4,040. That is currently in sinking funds. Alrighty, and just because I like to have the total here so I don't have to keep re-adding, we have that plus the 3150 equals a total of $7,190. So that is now the total, the $7,190 that should be in this second checking account. Daily we have in cash. I'm just going to change the name of this now because I don't know why I've been waiting so long to change it anyway. Daily. So daily we have in cash currently, but bills, we still have the money in our checking account. Sinking funds, we have the money in this checking account. So this account should essentially be $7,190. Let's go ahead and balance it out. So let's talk about this. Normally this account should have ended with $3,090 since sinking funds is like the only numbers that should be left with. But from what I remember, for the month of May, we were in the negatives. So let me see. We were in the negative for the month of May. So let me see something. What was the amount again? 3,090 minus negative 96.05. That equals to, oh, and we had the 4 cents of interest, but that equals to $2,993.99, but I had 4 cents of interest that I forgot to transfer over. So that is accurate. That's why this number doesn't match the ending amount for sinking funds. It's because we were in the negatives for the month of May. And just to talk about why it's like that is because when we calculate all of our whole budget in our budget results video, we always end up balancing everything out for our bills and our variable income. And then if we have extra money, like we did multiple previous months for the year, we always ended with a couple $100 extra, then we would be able to transfer money. But since for the month of May we were negative and we overspent money, that's why that number is a little odd. But let me actually just keep on going because I feel like I'm not making sense in my head right now. So let me just actually just keep going. Okay, so we have our daily bills, sinking funds. Okay, so let's go ahead and just balance this out. So we had that weird number that we have to fix actually. So we were negative by $96.05. Okay, sorry, I'm back out. I don't know where I left off because we had to go put the baby to sleep. But I believe we're talking about this account not matching like the previous. If you guys have seen the May's pre-balance, it was a lot more cohesive. It flowed a lot better because we were not working with a negative number. But since for this month we are starting with a negative number, unlike the previous months, it's a little bit different. We're going to have to see how we can get this to balance. What is this? 2993.99 minus, oh, what is that? 7190. And that looks correct to me. So for example, the reason why it looks like this $41,096.01 is because remember we still have that awkward 4 cents in there. That's why this number, the 9601, doesn't match the negative amount perfectly. Oh my god. Doesn't match the negative amount perfectly because this is 9605, but that weird 4 cents that we always get every single month, that kind of like made it 01 versus 05, but there's that number. But talking about the 4100, the reason why this looks good is because for the month of June, this is all in cash. So technically, if we did not have it in cash and this was in here, then it would be 5100. And then the reason why it's not the even 5200 is because $100 is calculated out to get transferred over to our ally. So if you guys notice, this ally money is not in this balance because this is already assumed at the beginning of the month. It's transferred out to ally. In reality, it's still 5200 minus the 1000 for our cash that we physically have, and then minus the $100 that we transferred over to Ally Bank. So yeah, it's 4100. I hope that makes sense, and if not, please do let me know and I can definitely further explain. It's just a very tricky month because we have two things that are different from previous months, which is this is all in cash and we are starting the month negative what we should have had, because other months is so much easier because we have extra funds that we can transfer out, while for this month the negative $96 and change, we're negative and we need to pull that out from somewhere, hence transferring out of savings for this account. Let's go ahead and do the transfer. We are currently going to be transferring, I actually didn't transfer the $100 yet for the month. We need to do that. So in total, it's going to be $4,200 instead of $5,200 because, again, we have that $1,000 in physical cash with us right now, and this is not in our bank account. And then, of course, the $96 that we need to transfer as well to balance out that negative for May. So let me go ahead and transfer that money over from our short-term savings account to this second checking account real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so we went ahead and transferred the $4,296.01 over to this second checking account. Now we're left with $4,214.14 in this short-term savings, and we're just preparing as more paychecks come in. This will be our budget for July. We have some extra funds in here, but it kind of works out for like this month, for example, we were negative 96, so it just works out. I hope that wasn't like too confusing, but again, of course, if there's any questions, just let me know and I'll try my best to answer below, or I can definitely answer in the next video that I'll film. But now that's the amount that's in this account is currently $7,290, and that was after that transfer over here. So let me actually cross these out since these are no longer accurate. So as you guys can see, it's actually $100 off from what we have. It's because I need to transfer that $100 to Ally Bank. So let me actually like do that right now. So I'm going to transfer $100 to this primary checking, since this is an account that I use to make credit card payments or to transfer to Ally. It's like the weekend right now, so I don't think it's going to come out for like the next 3-ish days, 4 days or whatever, but it's fine because as you guys know, whatever money is in here, I don't really pay mind to it because I know it's getting paid to something or getting transferred somewhere. So I know that these two accounts have like the real funds, the real accurate funds in here. But anyway, so I'm going to transfer the 100 to here real quick and I'll be right back. All right, so that looks good. Now the amount in here currently is $7,190, and that is perfect that it matches this exactly with how much we need for bills. that $31.50 for all of the bills, and then for sinking funds that $40.40. Both of these categories are in this second checking account, and only those categories are in here. But before I forget, since I did go ahead and transfer the $100, let me just put that in here as well. Let's transfer this to emergencies. And then we have June. I would just do June savings or June transfer. I don't even know. Let's just leave it like this. So with an additional $100, that means this account is at that means this account is at $9,000. Because the starting amounts plus $100, that means this is at $9,039.56, which is pretty sweet. Last but not least, let's just double check everything else is good. So we have balanced out our checking accounts. Our numbers are good for the month. Last but not least is we do have to do the Savopoly. Savopoly, let's transfer $317. That was what we rolled and need to save for the month of May. $317 we need to transfer over into our savings as well. 317 to Savopoly. And we'll do May Savopoly. The amount that's currently in there, $1,305.04 plus the $317 equals $1,652.04. So now to figure out where to transfer the money to Savopoly from, because now that we've written it down, we do need to make that transfer real quick, and we're going to be grabbing it from a sinking funds most likely. 317. I'll probably just pull 200 from Costco and then the remaining 117 from somewhere else. Costco, we'll do $200, and we'll do May Savopoly and another May Savopoly. So 200, and then we're transferring a full 317. 317 minus 200, we still need to transfer an additional $117 from somewhere. What category should we do it from? I do know that we have some expenses coming out for this month because we did have an unexpected dentist medical bill that we'll talk about in our first week's check-in. But for the remaining 117, I'm thinking of taking it out of car maintenance. I don't know if that's like the smartest idea or not, but we're just gonna do it. So we'll do 117 from car maintenance, and then we'll be able to transfer these funds after we check in for week 1. And then I'll write the date of whenever it is that we do it then. But 317 we'll just have to transfer once we check in for week 1. So we'll just have to remember to do that. I do have to do that video very shortly, so I should essentially remember. But that is now it for this pre-balance. Again, if you guys are still here, thank you so much for sticking around. I know that this month's pre-balance was very different compared to before, since we were working with a lot of different factors for this month, but I do hope that it was still okay and you guys still enjoyed the video nonetheless. Thank you guys so much as always for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.